Welcome back, guys. You're watching today's Platinum, and in this video I wanted to give my price prediction of where Bitcoin's price will move for the next year to 2 years. Okay, so if you guys enjoyed this video, please feel free to share it with as many people as possible, because I think this will be a conservative and interesting perspective that I think more people should adopt, due to the fact that a lot of people are just filled with optimism, when really we should be looking at past price history and really face the reality of the situation that we need something specific to see another massive bull run from Bitcoin's price. So again, guys, please share this with as many people as possible. This is something I don't ask you guys to ever do, but I would really appreciate it if you shared this with just a few friends who invest in cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, because I think this information will open up a lot of people's minds to, possibly a different strategy to take with cryptocurrency investing for the next year to 2 years. So let's get started with the video. And let's just get right into it. So what we're looking at right now is the price of Bitcoin between the beginning of 2009 and the beginning of 2011. So about a 2-year time period. Okay. And what we're going to be looking at is the time period between each bull run that Bitcoin has seen in the past, since it's been created. So in 2009 was when it was first created and first used. It was, around 1 cent for a long time, until you started to see some growth towards 2011. So between the time that it was first put out and the time of the tip of the first bull run, it was about 2 years time period. So just keep this in mind. We're going to talk about the time period in between each bull run. So from the beginning of when it was created to the first bull run is about 2 years. Okay. The next one, so this right here, top of 29, is what we're looking at right back here. So this is the top of the bull run right here, $29. So what we're going to analyze now is the time between the top of the bull run and the time that it takes for it to get back to that all-time high. Okay, so this right here scans from over 2011 all the way to the beginning of 2013. So again, about a 2-year time period from 2011 all the way to 2013. It took about 2 years to get back to that price. So, the first chart we looked at, 2 years to get to that first bull run. This chart, 2 years to get back to that price. And now we'll move into this chart as well. So right here, we see that price of $29. And that's what we will look at back here, that price point of $200. So let me just make sure this is all lined up. So right at that point of $29, right, we reached that all-time high that we had already seen, and we continued the bull run. So from the tip of this bull run, how long did it take to get back to that point? Just under a year. So about 8 months it took to get back to that price point. So obviously less than 2 years of what we've seen on the past 2 charts that we've analyzed, but about 8 months. Okay, so keep that in mind. So from this point, continuing this bull run, which we will look at right here, that tip of that bull run went all the way up to above $1,000. So how long did it take to return to that point of $1,000 in Bitcoin? So in 2013, it crashed into a bear period, moved horizontal for a while, and began to swing up. And it took about from 2014 to 2015, 2015 to 2016, and then to 2016 to 2017. So 3 years it took to revisit that level of about $1,000. So we have right here 2 years, 8 months. You could just estimate at a year, and then 3 months here. So let's go ahead and jump into a little sketch pad just to kind of talk about this, guys. So right down here, actually it cut out a little bit, but what I drew down there for you guys, let me just erase all of this, is 2 years, right? That first time, 2 years again, 8 months, so 8 months, or you could just say 1 year to estimate, and then 3 years. So these are the times, how long it takes for basically Bitcoin's price to recover back up to the all-time high after a large bull run. So 2 years, 8 months, 1 year, and then 3 years. Okay, so if we add that all up, guys, let's go ahead and do so. 2 years plus 2 plus 0.8, and then plus 3 divided by 4. So the average time that it takes for Bitcoin's price to return to the all-time high of the last bull run is about 1.95 years. So about a year and 11 months, or a year and 11 and a half months, or a year and 12 months. Okay, so either way, anywhere from the lowest being 8 years to 8 months to a year, all the way up to 3 years. So let's apply this knowledge of what we just learned to the current price of Bitcoin. So one thing that I also didn't mention is for each bull run, you never see Bitcoin's price return back to the price before the bull run started. Okay, right here, we never revisited the point before we started the first bull run. Right here, we never revisit the point before we started the second bull run. Right here, the third bull run, we never, let me just bring this back a little bit. We never revisit these levels down here. So moving on to the current chart, we want to take that knowledge and put it into perspective. So considering we've never revisited the point at which we started the large bull runs, we have to apply that same knowledge to what we're currently looking at. So the real point that we first started the bull run at is about $5,500. Okay, so $5,500 to about 5,800 would be the top area of where that bull run started. Let me just zoom in so you guys can see this. This would be the real point. We had a bit of a retracement, and then we just launched on that bull run. You could argue and say, we started the bull run back here somewhere, 2,000, 3,000, but I'm just going from the point at which it first hit and then continued the bull run straight up. So anywhere, from 5,800 to, I guess you could say, about 3,000. Okay, so 3,000 to 5,800 is the price at which we first started that bull run. And what we just learned is we never revisited the price before we started a bull run. We always, had a bear period, but then we just moved horizontal. We found a long-term support, but we never revisited those prices before we start the bull runs. Okay, so taking that knowledge, we can assume that, okay, the bull run that we last had reached an all-time high of 1,100. So don't plan on picking up Bitcoin for 1,100 anytime soon. However, we could return to a price point close to that number, right? So looking back through to 2017, we hit that all-time high right around this number, 1,100 again, and then we continued this bull run. I would say we kind of started it right around anywhere from 1,700 all the way up to 5,800. You could argue that that's where the major bull run started, but all of 2017 was mainly a bull market, right? So taking what we've just talked about, we don't expect Bitcoin to ever return to levels of, I'd say, $2,000 or below. So let's plan ahead and see where we can pick up Bitcoin for in the coming months and the coming year. So considering that, chances are, based off past price history, we're not going to return to a level of below 2,000. So I would say, 2,000 or above, 2,500 is a support, 3,000, and let's go ahead and write these down, right? So 2,500, 3,000, and we'll keep looking for other support points that we have seen with Bitcoin's growth. So that was actually like a 3,200. So let me adjust that. And what this will all come together once we, actually talk about what we're looking at towards the end. But just stay with me, guys, for now. So 3,200 right there, and we can also find some support, obviously around, I'd say 4,200 again, and then 5,500. Okay, so go ahead and write that down. 4,200, 5,000, 55, and 5,800. Okay, this is the point where you can't really say anything above 5,800 started the bull run, because from that point, from 5,800, we launched up all the way to about 20,000. So these are the price points that, the lowest price point being 2,500, the highest being 5,800, that I believe Bitcoin could return to in the coming months. And I also believe, something a lot different than most people, that we will not see another bull run until either the end of 2019 or the end of 2018 being the earliest, and the latest being the end of 2020, possibly 2019, 2020. So I'm either planning to see a bull run at the end of 2018, right about here. So I'll just mark it off for you. Right about, right about here. Or, we can scroll even further. Obviously, the chart won't let us. Let me see if we can get in on it on the Bitcoin chart. That's not going to let us either. So either right there, just picture that this is, 2019, the end of 2019, and this is the end of 2020. So I believe that we will not see a bull run until one of these 3 points, okay, based off past price history. So either a year in between this bull run. However, I don't think that we will just see a return back to that all-time high within this small time period. I think that would just cause a lot of havoc. So honestly, I believe that it will be somewhere between this area, I think is our best bet, between the 1 to 2 area mark, that we could see we could revisit this price and see the next large bull run go above that, possibly to 50K. However, the only way we will see another bull run is with a major catalyst. What do I mean by catalyst? We either need to see government regulation, a Bitcoin ETF, global financial market driving more money into cryptocurrency markets, global financial market crash, or some other catalyst that drives new money, new liquidity, new hype to the market, resulting in a large bull run that we have continued to see over the years. And it is quite apparent that you have an average of 2 years between each major bull run with Bitcoin. And considering this technology is still in the very early stages, all of the coins and projects are still, we don't know which ones are going to develop. Most don't even have a working product out yet. We can plan ahead and say, 2019 to 2020, towards the end of 2020, somewhere in between that time period, I expect to have a bull run for Bitcoin. Okay, so in the next year to 2 years, let me talk about my strategy, guys. So this is how I expect Bitcoin's chart to look in the next 1 year to 2 years. I expect to obviously have some, fluctuations, but I expect the lowest point that we drop to is about 2,000. Okay, so that may be the lowest. We may move in between. And then I expect to basically have a chart look something like this, right? Obviously, there will be different fluctuations and everything, but, I'm just not going to draw every single fluctuation that I imagine. But that's what I expect it to be based off past price history. That's literally what we've seen every single time. After a large bull market, we see a large retracement and then horizontal movement on whatever low support that we have identified, right? We see it every single time. Horizontal movement until the next catalyst that drives Bitcoin price and allows it to go crazy. So end of 2018 to be the earliest, and then my prediction is mid 2019, end of 2019 should be when we definitely see a major bull run for Bitcoin up to possibly 50 to 100K per Bitcoin. Okay, and then after that we'll probably see a large retracement, possibly to 23, 25K, move around there for a while, and then the next bull run I would expect to lead up to possibly 150 to 100K, somewhere in that area, if we continue to see innovations in this space. So guys, instead of expecting a bull run to happen tomorrow, or even planning for it to happen by the end of 2018, the strategy that you should be having is to pick up Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin and dollar cost average on the way down, right? All the way from 5,800, and continue to plan if we go all the way down to just above before the bull run started. I would say 2,000 is the absolute low that I would even consider. So you need to plan to dollar cost average on the way down and plan for Bitcoin to continue to drop. I know that's not something a lot of people want to do, but patience always wins, guys. There's no way that we're just going to see Bitcoin just go up like that. That's not how markets work. Markets move in cycles, guys. And we just went through a very large bull cycle, and now we need to see bearish and horizontal movement. That's just how markets work, guys. So what you need to do, plan ahead for this. You need to come up with your 20 coins or less. That's what I always recommend. 20 coins or less that you guys want to start to accumulate for the long term, for the next large bull run. Start to learn how to trade these coins. Okay, trade them daily, trade them weekly, trade them monthly, trade them on the swings. You need to develop a strategy where you're not only trading and getting gains short term, but you're also accumulating those coins every single trade for the long term, planning ahead for the next bull run. So I think this is a prediction that not a lot of people may share. It's more of a conservative prediction that people don't want to hear. No one wants to hear that Bitcoin may revisit $2,000 or $4,000 or $3,000, right? No one wants to hear that. But let's be honest, guys. This is how the market has literally moved 4 times that I can identify, right? Before the first bull run, about 2 years of horizontal price movement, and then it picked up. Second one, to return to this all-time high, about 2 years of bearish movement and then horizontal movement, and then it picked back up to what we saw here. Right here, about 8 months, pretty interesting case here, but about 8 months until we return to this high of that bull run. And then right here, 3 years, guys, 3 years before we returned to this level of about $1,000 from this bull run right here. Okay, so we need to see an extended period of time where we are not seeing, major bull runs. We may see major spikes up and then but drops back down. But I think this market needs more movement towards the downside and horizontal movement, building up the hype as well as allowing for projects to develop more and actually add more value to these projects so that people can come in for the next bull run and say, okay, this market is well developed. It's time for me to invest. Drive more liquidity in, more new money will enter the market, and ultimately drive that price back up for another pretty crazy bull run, hopefully. So again, not something that a lot of people share, and a lot of people talk about. If we do bottom out at about 5,800, I could see us just moving horizontal around here for a while, and then again possibly doing the same exact thing. It all depends on where the bottom is, but either way, guys, I do not expect a bull run for about a year to 2 years to possibly 3 years. Okay, absolute earliest, I would say end of 2018, because that would give about a year between. But the absolute latest that I would expect is the end of 2020, which would give, or end of 2019, which would give around 3 years price history, or 2020. So, guys, you need to develop a strategy to plan for this exact play out of Bitcoin's price, because let's be honest, this has repeated itself 4 times in the past that we have just looked at. So use these levels, guys, that I have shown you on the sketch pad, right? Use these levels. These are key support levels that we have seen in the past that you could use to possibly find the bottom, wherever the bottom may be. Maybe the bottom is at 6,000, 5,800, which we're at right now. Maybe that is the bottom. Maybe 5,500 is. Maybe 4,200 is. Maybe 2,500 is the absolute bottom, guys. We don't know yet, but by studying our past price history and planning ahead and being conservative and also rational, we can, develop a strategy that will allow us to have massive success with this next bull run, right? Let's trade the horizontal pattern, which is always optimal for day trading and swing trading. Let's trade this horizontal movement for the next year to 2 years, as well as accumulate the best projects up until that next bull run, where hopefully we will reap the gains from the work we put in over this 1 to 2 year time period. So let me know, guys. Please let me know what you guys thought of this video. And again, please share with anyone that you think would benefit from this. I put a lot of thought into this video because I know a lot of there's been a lot of price predictions put out there, and one of the channels that I follow the most, Data Dash, he actually said 50K he believes by the end of the year. But I have a little bit more of a different opinion. Although I love his content and I absolutely love all the information he's provided, I don't know if I agree with a lot of the predictions saying, we will either revisit or pass the highs that we've seen at the end of 2017 for Bitcoin. I think it's a much longer play out that we're going to see. I think this market is still very young, and I think we have 1 to 2 years of developments that we need to see further before we can see 20K revisited, as well as 50K to 100 to 150, 250, possibly a million in the future. Okay, this market needs to complete the next cycle, which is a bear cycle, and then horizontal movement leading up to the next bull run. Markets move in cycles always, and there's no denying that we've just had a huge bull run, and it should be time for a bear run and then horizontal movement until we see that next catalyst that will push Bitcoin's price up above that recent all-time high, and hopefully up to possibly levels of 50K. So guys, let me know what you think. If you guys need help coming up with your investment strategy planning for these next year to 2 years, definitely check out our one-on-one coaching calls. That's what we specialize in, helping you guys come up with a specific investment strategy tailored to your needs, your capital, your time that you have to trade, and all of your knowledge specifications. So definitely take advantage of the resources in our description. And guys, please put some thought into what we went over in this video, as I think it can be very helpful planning ahead for the future. All right, guys, I will see you guys in the next video, and thank you for watching. Have a good one, guys.